I hope that you're really excited to paint your Frankenstein character. I'm just going to give you a couple tips and tricks to help you as you are painting him. There's a couple things you're going to need before you start. First, you're going to want to lay out a paper or your box. You can open it up just so that you don't get paint all over your table. You also need a paper cup and put some water in it because that's what you're going to use to clean off your paintbrush. And then get one dry paper towel because we're going to wipe our brush on it to dry it, and I will show you how to do that. The first thing you want to do is separate your pieces by color. So you can look at the picture. If you want it to look exactly like the one that I painted, look at the picture. If you want to use markers or colored pencils, then I hope you be creative. But I like to separate mine by color. So the two upper arm pieces are going to be purple, so I put that over here. I picked all the pieces that are green and I set them off to the side. And then these are the eye pieces. Those are going to be white. The bolts are silver. And then the outline of his head and the scar piece and his mouth are going to be black. Now, these bolt pieces, you don't have to color them because you're not going to see them. So I'm just going to put those off to the side. Now, the back piece, it's all one piece. I did purple here, silver, brown, black for the top of his shoes, and silver for the bottom. So I'm going to show you how I painted the silver pieces. I like to paint the light pieces first because then if you go over the line, when you come back with the dark pieces, you can cover the light color really easy. So you're going to dip your paintbrush into your silver paint. And then I like to use the edge of my brush to kind of line right next to the outline. Kind of like you're coloring with a crayon. Now, if you want to make this a lot easier, you can color this with a crayon or markers or colored pencil. It makes it a little bit easier and then you have more color choices. But if you really want the shiny look, then you can use this silver metallic color. You don't have to worry about this bottom piece because that's going to go inside the stand, so you're not going to see that. So don't worry about staying in the lines for that piece. And then I will show you how to put it together. So I'm going to have you push pause when we're done with this silver color and finish painting your piece. So then we have the bottom of our shoes. You see how shiny that is? And then do the same thing when you paint this little part of his shirt. And then you would take these bolt pieces and do the same thing. It's a little bit easier when you're painting without having to go in the lines. Then when you're completely done with the silver, put the cap back on your paint pot so you don't spill it. How you're going to clean your paintbrush is you're going to take your cup with water and just swirl your paintbrush in until, and I kind of brush the bottom of the cup. Be very careful not to spill. And then when that is completely cleaned off, you're going to take your dry paper towel and then you're just going to wipe. You don't want to grab the bristles and pull because then these bristles are going to come out and you're not going to have anything left to paint. So just wipe it back and forth and it will mostly be dry. There'll be a little bit of water left, but that's okay. You don't have to have it completely dry, just mostly. And then you'll go to your next color and paint that. So press pause on this video until you're done coloring and then have your mom or your dad or an older sibling come and help, and I'm going to show you how to put it together when you're done. So pretend all my pieces are done and they're completely dry. You don't want any wet paint. What you're going to do is you're going to get these bolt pieces. And if you look closely at them, on one side, there's a sticker. You are going to peel the sticker off of one of those pieces. And on the top of the other, do you see how there's a sticker on this side? You want to leave that on the bottom. So on the top, line the edges up as close as you can so that it's even, and then press it together. And now it's stuck. So now you have 2 bolts as one. And I'm gonna do that 3 more times. So I have 4 sets. You can use tweezers to peel it up, or you can even use your fingernails if you wanted to. Make sure that you do not press it down on the other sticker side, because you need this sticker to hold it onto your Frankenstein. And line the edges as close as you can. Press, and one more time. Remember, your pieces are going to be completely painted before you do this. I'm just skipping ahead. And press. Okay, so now I have 4 sets of bolts that are 2 bolts each. Now you're going to take your arms and your shoulder pieces. So on the piece, actually, I'm going to paint real quick just so you can see where to put this. Okay, so I have 4 sets of the bolts that are 2 bolts each. Now I'm going to take these 2 shoulder pieces. Yours are going to be completely painted. I just did a quick example swipe so that you know where to put them. So you're going to take the painted side and you're going to turn it over. So now the painted side is facing down. You are going to take one of the bolts, peel that sticker off, and then at the top of the shoulder, so not where the hole is, you're going to put the bolt at the very top and then press down. And then do it on the next one as well. I like to try to get the bolts as close in the same spot as possible and kind of facing the same way. So I have the flat end here and the flat end here. I don't know that it would really matter if you didn't, except for if you wanted his arms to be straight down and your bolt is crooked, they're not gonna lay the same way. So just make sure that the flat end is matching if you want your arms to be matching. And then these 2 are done. Now take your arms and same thing, the painted side goes facing down. Take the last 2 bolts and place them at the top part of the arms, not by the fingers. And same thing, I try to get the flat parts to be facing the same way. So it's flat right here and flat right here, if you can tell. Okay, and then you are going to take the rest of your pieces and, oh, I should take the back piece, and you're going to put it together. Just follow the picture with the face. You're going to peel the back part of the face down, set it here, and then do the same with his hair. Well, I guess it's his forehead technically. This part of his face, then his eyes. The bolts, you want to make sure the bolts go low on his face. If you put them up here, it's going to get in the way of his arms and you're not going to be able to move these as much. So make sure that the bolts go low. Just follow the picture. So I will show you at the end how he looks. So he will look like this. So how to pose him, do you see how these bolts are in there? So you can just kind of move his arms how you want. You can take his hand out. You can move it up or down. You can make him kind of dab if you wanted to, or do a funky dance. So just have fun with how you want to pose him. Just take each shoulder out and take each arm out and experiment to see what kind of fun moves you can have your Franky do. Make sure that you let your mom know. She can contact me if she has any questions, and I'm happy to help you out more.